Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where you may notice our orbit here is slightly different. I did a little bit of an anti-normal burn and I got us down to 2 kilometers apart. So we're just going to warp forward about 9 minutes here. And up we go. Here is our station on its way in. So we're just going to dock this up real quick. Just advance a little bit here. Something kind of like this. And we'll start our burn at about 4 kilometers out, I think. $136 meters per second apart? Maybe more like 2 kilometers, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, let's just keep going a little bit, down to about here. Excellent. This was too late. This was definitely too late. Okay. That's fine. Later, station. We're passing you right on by. Sadly. Well, we'll just keep burning in this direction a little bit. I should have gone for the 4 kilometers. My gut told me 4. And then I second-guessed myself. That's okay. We're close enough. $50 meters per second apart now, in terms of our relative velocities. Make that 30. Our thrust to weight is never great when we're fully laden like this, but we're currently only 10 meters per second apart. Okay, we're currently moving towards the target at about 0.6 meters per second. I'm going to accelerate that up to about 10 meters per second. And then we'll flip over to target retrograde. And we will physics warp that flip. There we go. And now we'll warp in a little bit closer. Go to 10x speed. Yeah, this is good enough. And then once we are about 500 meters out, which we're getting close to, we'll just kill this relative speed most of the way. It's about now. Take it down to about 5 meters per second or so. Let it drift in a little bit closer. And then once we get to about 200 meters, then we can kill our relative velocity and move in with RCS. So I'm just going to time warp a little bit here, and we'll take that in another 100 meters. Okay, there we go. Here in a few seconds, we're going to kill our relative velocity. Right about now. There we go. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and face towards target. We will extend our airlock. We'll hop over here. We want to control from this airlock. So we'll open here. We will control from here. And then where's our... There we go. This is our thing here. So we want to set this as our target. It's actually still slightly too far away. We need to point to target. Something like this. Excellent. And I do want to see if we can point to this guy directly. It looks like that's still a little too far away. I'm going to accelerate us up to about 0.5 meters per second. There we go. And with that, we should be able to select this soon enough. It's going to bring us in a little bit closer, like this. There we go. Set that as target. Now, I want to be in target prograde, because at this point, I want to just hold here. And kill our relative velocity. Perfect. Now point at target, and let's get the station aligned. Point at that target. I'm not going to physics warp this because this station has a tendency to have issues with this alignment in physics warp. So we are going to prevent that. And I just realized these radiators are not extended, and they probably should be. I mean, they don't have to be, but it'll be helpful to have them extended. Okay. So, are we controlling from the correct point? No, we are not. That explains a lot. Let's hop over here. And it looks like we are currently aligned. That will not remain the case. Let's just get aligned here. And once this alignment is complete, then we can dock it up nice and simple. So aligned kind of like this. That looks good. This looks good. Bring it up to 0.5 meters per second. There we go. Are we going to need to adjust this velocity any? Well, right now it looks okay. We're going to have to adjust it a little, I think. That's okay. We'll warp in until we are about 50 meters out. So something kind of like this. Once we're a little closer, then we can make sure that this is correct. So about here. Okay, we'll make sure that we're aligned. We'll make sure that we're aligned. Just adjusting our velocity very slightly there with a little bit of RCS. And this should be fine in theory. It's looking good. Maybe a little bit this way. Maybe ever so slightly. Kind of like that. Just a very, very minor velocity change. And that should get us exactly to where we want to be. Now, of course, we are still going to need to send up a storage module for the actual contract. We don't have the tech for that yet. This looks perfect. Perfection. Okay. There we go. Technically, I hooked it up to the wrong side. So I'm an idiot. I meant to hook it up here, and I didn't notice that until literally just now. Good enough. It's fine. So I do want to check a couple of things here. So we need to have quite a lot more ore in this, of course, as well as the fuel. Now we have plenty of fuel capacity here. It's the ore capacity that we're going to be struggling with. So let's hop on back to the Space Center and check in on our long-term projects, because we have 3 of those going on, and we're getting very close to one of them anyway. So let's check in over here. And let's see, the Raven 1S is 14 days away. Yeah, okay. So of course the Griffin 3L is going to Ike, and that is a while before its maneuver node. The Solar Gateway is our final project here, and that's on the initial module is on its way out. That, again, is taking a while, but we're building other infrastructure for it in the meantime. But this Raven 1S, this is super close. That said, I absolutely do not want to advance time to the Raven 1S, because this is going to be a 40-minute burn. Even with physics warping on, it's still going to take 10 minutes to do this burn. And that's simply too long for the video, and I'm not interested in, like, time-lapsing it. That sounds like work. Why would I want to do that? Here to have fun, not to work. So, we're going to look to see if there's anything else we can do here. Seismic sensor data from Gilly? We'd have to specifically crash things into that. We could, in theory, send up a 3rd mint getter. That might not be the worst idea, actually. I mean, we were talking about doing that anyway. So it would be this mint getter. And this is pretty much ready to send as is. So let's do that. Let's send up a 3rd mint getter, and we are just going to see... I mean, I'm sure we have the docking... Yeah, we definitely have the docking ports to handle this plus a storage module. So that should be fine. And I think just up we go. Fantastic. So what is our current apoapsis? Okay, I think we'll start a small gravity turn at about 5 kilometers. We'll start pitching. There we go. This is definitely feeling wiggly. Okay. Good to know. We'll just hold here for the time being. We're passing through max Q currently. We are through max Q. Gonna try to get us pitched over a little more. I don't want to go too far because we're definitely not very stable. Well, we're very stable. Like, it's not flight stability that's the issue. It's looseness of joints, specifically up here, that's the issue. We're plenty high on the apoapsis. Let's see if we can't wiggle our way over to the horizon. Yeah. See, plenty stable. It's just that this joint is pretty loose. Okay. Technically, that did destroy one of our fins, but that's okay. Our height is plenty high, and we will just circularize right up over here. About like so. So we'll just sit at this maneuver node if we can get there. We'll be exiting the atmosphere. Actually, we have exited the atmosphere. So this should be fine. This is a burn of 1 minute and half a second. So T minus 1.5 seconds is when, or 1 minute half a second is when we want to do this. We'll just go ahead and warp towards that a little bit, since we're already pretty much in position. Okay, this burn will be commencing right about now. Technically that was 1 second early, but I'm probably a little bit off on my positioning of the apoapsis anyway, so it should be fine. Our inclination is going to be a little off, but again, that'll be completely fine. We've got 35 seconds left in this, and well, not in this burn, but until the node here. 29 and 33. So yeah, I was actually a little fast on this. I should probably throttle this down a little bit, just to compensate for that slightly. And then once we get to the node, I'll throttle back up. Okay, that should compensate a little bit. Since I was early in both starting the burn and in the node, I just wanted to delay the burn very slightly there. We are, of course, going to need to extend our solar panels, and so we'll go ahead and get that done. Excellent. Not that they're going to do us much good here on the dark side of Kerbal, but it should be fine. Ten more seconds left in this burn. Good enough. I don't care about the extra 13 meters per second. Okay, so let's go ahead and set Minmus as our target. There we go. And at the ascending node, which direction are we going? We are going anti-normal. Okay. Good to know. So we'll do something like that, and we will go ahead and point anti-normal. We've still got 311 meters per second in our first stage, so we're going to use most of that, or probably all of that, in our inclination change. There we go. We are pointed anti-normal, and we will just go ahead and warp to this maneuver. We're only using this maneuver for timing. We are not using it to determine how much DV we have to do here, because that would involve also some retrograde burning, and it's just more efficient to just eyeball it and just burn anti-normal. So we are going to begin this burn right about now. Gonna delay it a little longer. This was moving ahead of us at about the same rate, so I want it to be more like here. There we go. Perfection. Okay, so next up, we are going to need around the descending node. Maybe a little earlier than this. We'll see if this gets us a decent encounter. Actually, it's not half bad. I'll take it. I do want to lower this a little bit to be something kind of like this is kind of touchy. Okay, 132, that will do. So we'll physics warp our turn over there. This is a burn time of 2 minutes and 2 seconds. So at 1 minute, 1 second is when we want to begin this burn. We are oriented for it now. So here in just 10 seconds is when we want to begin this burn. This missing fin is awkward, but we want to begin our burn now. And off we go. And we are now burned out of our first stage. Second stage has lit nicely. 40 seconds left on this, or rather into this node. We're lifting this empty, right? Yes, but this is full. So that's fine. This should be enough to get us there, even with all this extra fuel. Yeah, this will definitely be enough. Like, we're going to have 1,400 meters per second left for our min-miss maneuvers. We do not need that much. So this will be completely fine. We'll get ourselves our third mint getter over here, and that should buy us the time that we need to do a few things. Like, it's not going to get us all of the units of ore that we need, right? Because each one of these only holds 1,800 units of ore. That is why we need the storage module. But the storage module will be the final module for that station. Of course, we are going to need, at some point, to work on our other projects. It feels like we've been neglecting them, but we honestly haven't. We're just waiting for them to get there. Now, getting to min-miss here, this might be a situation where we have to take advantage of, or where we have to do that other burn for the communication satellite. It'll take us 9 days to get there. Yeah, that'll be very close. We'll have to check in on that. So as soon as we get this encounter... Did I overshoot it? I may have overshot it. Looks like I did. Such a tiny amount of delta V at this distance does such a lot. Just an absolute ton. That'll do. Okay, so we're going to circularize here. Something along the lines of... Oh wait, that's the periapsis. Something along the lines of this. Kind of like that. That'll do. However, that node is in 11 days. So we actually need to head back to the Space Center and see if the Raven 0X is before or after that, because I'm honestly not sure. Let's see. Or rather, the Raven 1S. That's in 14 days. Okay, so we can warp this, but only just. We're definitely getting very, very close to getting at least one of those long-term projects out of the way. Focus view on min-miss. There we go. Excellent. We are basically already lined up for this maneuver. Oh, that is disgusting. We can't physics warp this turn. Okay. We'll just have to line it up the old-fashioned way. And we will go ahead and warp to next maneuver, starting now. And just like that, there goes another 11 days. So we've only got about 3 days left on that maneuver node. So that's good to know. And here we are. Fantastic. So this is a 21-second burn. And I'm going to burn that at T-minus 10.5 seconds. Now, it does bear noting that we're super close to that super long burn. So I think after this burn, I'm going to put a cut in, and we'll dock this up next episode. But in between episodes, I'm going to do the majority of that satellite burn. So we'll just get that out of the way. And I will have to warp ahead about 3 days to make that happen, but that's not a big deal. So we will just warp ahead a little bit more. We need 10.5 seconds. So right about now. And we're just looking to largely circularize this. Okay. Just a little bit more. That'll do. Very close. Nice. I like it. What's our inclination? 6.1 degrees. Okay. We can work with that. Of course, we're just going to need to match planes over here. And in reality, I probably should have done it further out, but it's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and put that cut in here, and next episode, when we come back, we will be in the last little bit of the burn for the satellite. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.